Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to share with you a super simple kofta recipe. So kofta is just basically a spicy meatball, and I'm going to make it into like a little curry, and it's going to be amazing. So into my food processor, I'm going to be adding one chopped medium sliced onion. Sorry, not sliced, just chopped into big chunks is fine. I'm going to do about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. I'm going to do just a little bit of ginger, and then I'm going to do a bunch of cilantro. And traditionally I would add some green chilies to this, but I don't have that, which is perfectly fine. So we're just going to get this blitzed up. I'm just going to use my super handy ninja here, and we're just going to give this a whirl. Looks beautiful. Alright, so I'm just going to remove the internal part, and then we have this gorgeous onion cilantro mix, which we're going to add to our meat. We'll be adding our gorgeous blitzed onion, cilantro, ginger, and garlic. How quickly this comes together. It's super important. So I just have some pink salt, black pepper, garlic powder, cumin, and coriander, and I'm just gonna drop this in here. Gorgeous meat right here, and then just take your beautiful clean hand, and we're gonna mix this all together so to incorporate all. So once your meat starts to look like this, where you can see everything is incorporated nicely, I've just buttered my hands a little bit, and I'm just going to grab just a little bit of the meat, and I'm going to roll it in the palm of my hand, and I'm just going to shape it into a little meatball. So you can do really big meatballs, or you can do tiny ones. I'm going to make them a little bit flatter, so they're kind of like a little hamburger, and that's going to be my meatballs. So I'm just going to do that for all of this, and I'm just going to set it aside in my pan. Alright, so I've got a nice big pot here, and I'm just going to be adding a little bit of oil into there just to cover the bottom of it so we can get a nice crispy fry on the meatball. Does that even make sense? I don't know. So I'm just going to put probably about 2 tablespoons of oil here just to kind of coat the bottom of the pan. Just like that. So we're just going to get this nice and hot, and then we're going to put in our meatballs into that. So all my meatballs are done and set aside. So what I've done now is reduce some of the oil that's in my pan. And into this, I'm gonna be adding some chopped onion. Here. This is gonna be the base for our curry. We're also gonna be adding a little bit of ginger garlic paste, and we're gonna saute this together until the onions are nice and softened. And so by doing it in the same pan, the same oil that the meatballs were cooked, you get all of the flavors that the meatballs released as they were cooking. So it's gonna be amazing. So we're just gonna give this a good mix. I'm just gonna let this brown up. And so while the onions are sauteing, I just want to show you guys the meatballs. They are so good. They're so juicy and so flavorful. It's just packed with flavor, and like you can see all those delicious herbs, and oh, it's amazing. So we're gonna add this into our sauce when it's ready. And they're extra brown because we did cook the meatballs in there. So now I have 2 plum tomatoes, which I'm gonna drop in there. So the trick to this is when you do your tomatoes, just lightly squeeze it in your hand as you drop them in. So just this is just to get all the juices out of the tomatoes. So we're just gonna do that for all the tomatoes. Just a little squeeze in your hand as we drop it in the pot. And we're gonna let this cook down really nicely too. Large tomato or 2 small ones. So this tomato was pretty small, so that's why I did 2 of them. Now we're just going to give this a good saute. Now we want these tomatoes to soften up really nicely as well. So we're just going to let that saute. As our tomatoes and onions are bubbling away, to this I'm going to be adding a little bit more spices. So we're going to do just a little bit of some of the spices that we put inside our meatballs. So I'm going to do a little bit of coriander powder, a bit of cumin powder. I'm going to do half a teaspoon of chili powder. And I'm going to do a good teaspoon, half a teaspoon of paprika. And I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper in there. I'm not going to add any salt yet because I'm going to wait till the end just to taste it. So as this is cooking away, I'm going to throw in just a half of the cilantro that we had chopped up earlier. I had chopped up earlier. So as you can see, we have a really nice thick gravy. And then to this, I'm going to be adding some water because I do want it to be pretty liquidy. So I'm going to add just a little bit of water, probably half a cup of water. And then we're just going to give this a good mix, and it smells amazing already. So we are just going to let this sauce thicken up, and then we're going to put our meatballs back in there. So into my sauce, I'm just going to pour in about 1/3 cup of tomato paste. Maybe, you know what, I'm going to do 2/3. Why not? Just to give it a nice thick curry. Just gonna give this a good mix, and we're gonna check it for some salt. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt into it. That tomato paste is gonna make it thicken up really nicely, so you get another dimension of flavor too from the sweetness of the paste and from the fresh tomatoes. I'm gonna add some more of my cilantro. And then I'm going to put back all of my meatballs that we cooked earlier. gonna really good mix. Let me show you guys. Just like that. And now we're just gonna let this simmer for a good 5 to 10 minutes. Just on low. As you can see, our gravy is super nice and thick. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a taste for salt. It's amazing. All right. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of spice to it though. I'm gonna add a little bit of chili flakes just to spice it up a little. We are Sri Lankans after all. We need spicy food. Just gonna give this a mix. Wow, I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so good. And like the richness of the sauce, oh, amazing. All right, just cover this for a little bit longer. Just gonna be putting some more of our fresh cilantro. Oh, it's perfect. Oh my goodness.